God says, "My dear child, I know your heart is tired, I know you've been strong for too long. And I know that even the quietest signs from heaven, you sometimes miss them. But right now you have just 2 hours. Yes, exactly 2 hours, that's all you've been given in this moment. Archangel Michael stands beside you, and God is reaching out again to speak to your soul. This time, please don't wound his heart by turning away. He's been softly calling your name for days. You didn't hear it with your ears, but heaven did, and they wept with you, because something is already on its way, sudden, unplanned by you, yet written above. You finding these words now is no accident. Michael says heaven has gathered, not in an ordinary meeting, but in a sacred assembly, to prepare what they are sending down for you. A choice was made in the higher realms, and you are the only one yet unaware. Eyes have been on you, watching your steps, and what's about to enter your life, will arrive like a divine shock. That's why you were led here before it unfolds, so your spirit can be ready in time. Precious soul, hear me well. God is not angry at you, he is hurting. Each time you pass over these messages, something within heaven trembles. This isn't about fear, it's about love. You have been set apart for something far greater than anyone has told you. And these words are your only signal, before everything begins to move. You truly have 2 hours, not to frighten you, but because heaven's clock has already started counting down. You can feel it, can't you? That unshakable weight in your chest, the tug that draws your spirit forward. That is not worry, that is God knocking at the door of your soul. That is Archangel Michael stirring the air around you, lifting your awareness, because of what was decided without your knowledge. And now they're stepping in on your behalf. Before I go further, heaven asks for something small yet meaningful. If you know this message is meant for you, declare it, say I am ready out loud or in the quiet of your heart. Such a simple act tells God that your spirit is open at last to receive. Now listen closely, because this next part may shake you. Someone close to you will soon act behind your back, not to harm you, but to awaken you. Heaven has allowed this moment, because it will guide you toward the miracle that has waited silently for 3 long years. Yes, 3 years since you nearly gave up on it. But God never did. And now it draws near, but only if you remain with this message fully present. This was never meant to be glanced at and forgotten. You were meant to feel the weight of each line, to know this is personal, urgent, deliberate. Your scrolling here wasn't chance, the angels worked to put these words before your eyes today. Michael himself paused another mission, just to speak into your life. And what he said is startling. They don't realize how close they are to the moment everything shifts. But there's a cost, you cannot turn away this time. Too often you've set aside the whispers, the dreams, the gentle pushes from above, and still God waited for you, with patience and unending love, even when your prayers fell silent. But right now, something is moving above your home, in the unseen sky. A divine interruption is being prepared, and only you carry the understanding to recognize it. In 2 hours, your life stands at a split. One path will fade quietly, into the shadows of what might have been. The other will burst open, into something no one imagined for you. And it hinges entirely on whether you take these words into your heart now. Michael says someone in heaven wept for you last night, not in sorrow, but because your name has been written again, in the book of divine action. That means movement is certain. Yet the angels are concerned, they've seen you hesitate, dismissed the miraculous, because it felt too much to hope for. But this time it is real. Miss it now, and you will miss the moment that heaven shaped around your life. This week you will hear a sentence that will change the course of your days. The person speaking it will have no idea of its weight, but Michael does. That is why you were brought here, before it's spoken, so when the moment comes, you'll recognize it. Do not turn away from God this time. Beloved, I understand your fear of hoping again. You've been let down, your trust shaken, promises broken. You may think this is no different from other words you've seen. But it is. This message was held back, delayed, kept safe in Michael's hands, for the exact moment your spirit could hear it. That moment is now. While you rested, the angels moved. In the spiritual realm, your name was spoken aloud, wrapped in light. Prepare them, God said. The unexpected is here, not next week, not next month, now. That is why you stand at this threshold. This is more than a message, it is a turning point. And when you look back, you will remember that heaven tried to reach you before the door opened, because once it does, everything will be different. And here's something else that may shock you, there's another layer to your story, that even you don't fully understand yet. Heaven has been moving pieces behind the curtain, shifting people, moments, and opportunities into alignment, all so that when this next divine wave arrives, you won't miss it. Archangel Michael says they have been tested long enough. Their season of waiting is over, and the release is set in motion. But you must understand, your readiness is not measured by perfection, it's measured by your willingness to believe again, even after the storms. You see, the miracle that's coming is not just to bless you, it's to rewrite the pattern in your life, that the enemy tried to engrave. That pattern of last-minute losses, of almosts, of near misses, it's breaking. God says this time the doors will not just open, they will stay open. And when they do, you won't have to fight to keep them from closing. Heaven has already assigned angels to guard what's yours. Michael reveals that you're standing on a thin spiritual line, where your past and your future are touching, for the briefest of moments. In that instant, your decision determines which one pulls you forward. That's why the timing is so exact, why heaven is speaking now, and not a moment later. You were placed here reading these words, because heaven knew you'd need this exact confirmation, before you take the next step. And beloved, that next step might not look like a miracle at first. It may feel like a small ordinary choice. But in the spiritual realm, it's the key that turns the lock on the blessing that's been stored away for you, for years. Michael says don't underestimate small obedience. One act of faith can split the skies. And when it does, you'll see how heaven never forgot a single tear, a single prayer you thought went unanswered. There is someone in your circle, someone who has been both a help and a hindrance, who will soon reveal their true role in your journey. This is not to scare you, it's to prepare you. God says when the mask drops, do not be shaken. It's part of the alignment. The removal of certain voices will make room for the right ones, the ones heaven has been sending toward you, but couldn't fit into your life until now. You've been feeling it, haven't you? That restlessness in your spirit, that quiet urge to prepare, to clear space, to get ready for something you can't name yet. That's not random, that's Michael's wings stirring the air around your life, pushing away what cannot go forward with you. It's why certain things recently ended abruptly. It wasn't punishment, it was preparation. Heaven doesn't cut you off from what you need, only from what would harm the next chapter. There's also a word you're going to hear in the coming days. It may come from a stranger, from a passing conversation, or even from a song or a headline. It will seem ordinary to others, but to you it will feel like lightning in your chest. That's the confirmation that the spiritual shift has happened. When it comes, pause, receive it, speak out loud, I accept what heaven has for me. Those words are not just symbolic, they are the agreement that finalizes the release. God says this. I have seen every battle you fought in silence, every night you questioned why the answer hasn't come yet. I was not ignoring you, I was building the foundation so strong, that when the blessing came, nothing could shake it. That's why it took time, not because you weren't worthy, but because what's coming is too great, to be placed on weak ground. Michael adds, you will not have to chase this. It will find you. It is already on its way, moving faster than you think. And when it arrives, you will understand why certain delays and detours were necessary. The timing will be so exact, so perfect, you'll know without a doubt, that it could only have been heaven. Beloved, don't second-guess this moment. You've been prepared for it, in ways you didn't even realize. Through struggles that taught you resilience, through losses that deepened your compassion, through moments of stillness, that sharpened your hearing for the divine. All of it has led here. This is not random, this is a divine appointment with your own destiny. The angels are already in position. The doors are already built. The blessing is already shaped. Now heaven is waiting for your final yes. Speak it, believe it, receive it. Because when this moment touches your life, it will not just change your circumstances, it will change you. And that change will be so complete, so undeniable, that everyone around you will see the fingerprint of God on your life. Something you forgot about, but heaven never did. That item is a key, not in the physical sense, but in the way it will unlock a memory, a promise, a moment when you knew deep down, that your life was meant for more. The reason you forgot it was because the enemy worked hard to bury it, under layers of distraction, pain, and delay. But heaven has been guarding it, waiting for the exact time to bring it back to you, because you can finally handle the weight of what it means. Michael says this is the shift point. This is when you'll begin to notice things aligning, almost unnaturally fast. Calls you've been waiting for suddenly come through. Doors that were jammed shut swing open, without you even touching them. People you thought were gone for good resurface, but this time you'll know exactly why they've shown up. Not everyone who reappears will be for your good, some will simply be there so you can see clearly who you've outgrown. That's part of your preparation. And here's something you must know, as soon as your spirit begins to glow with this readiness, resistance will notice. The same voices that told you it's impossible, will suddenly grow louder in your mind. But this time you're going to recognize them for what they are, echoes from an old season that no longer fits. The old you would have listened. The you standing here now, you'll keep walking, you'll keep speaking life. And with every step, the seal on your miracle gets weaker, until it finally breaks. Heaven calls this the tipping hour. You are stepping into it. The tipping hour is when the spiritual pressure becomes so strong, that the physical world has no choice but to respond. You may feel a rush of emotion, tears for no reason, a laugh you didn't plan, or even a sudden urge to move, clean, write or pray. That's not random, it's divine activation taking hold. Go with it, follow it. Because as you do, you're telling God I'm aligned, I'm not hesitating anymore. Michael wants you to picture this. A long table in heaven covered in scrolls. Each scroll has a name, but yours is glowing brighter than the rest. Angels are gathered around it, some standing guard, others writing notes. Every time you choose faith over fear, they write something down. Every time you speak belief instead of doubt, they underline it. And right now they are circling your scroll, because it's about to be opened. Once it's opened, there's no going back, the release will begin, and it won't stop until every promise tied to your name is in your hands. But you have to be ready for the shift in pace. Heaven's timing is not slow, and once it starts, it can feel overwhelming. Things you thought would take months will happen in days. Connections will spark instantly. Answers will come before you even have the question fully formed. And in that rush, the temptation will be to second-guess it. Don't. The speed is proof of God's hand on it. The acceleration is your confirmation. Now there's a whisper coming to you soon. It might come from a person, a stranger, or even a piece of writing you stumble across. It will say something that hits your soul, like a bell ringing. That's your final confirmation before the miracle drops. It will be so specific, so deeply personal, you'll know it could only have been meant for you. And when it comes, say out loud, I receive it fully. That's the seal-breaking moment. Michael says there's another layer to your gift. Hidden within this release is something you didn't even ask for, but God decided you needed it anyway. It might be healing in an area you've ignored, or provision in a place you didn't realize was running empty. It's heaven's way of saying, I know you better than you know yourself, and I won't let you walk into your next season incomplete. In the next few hours, your awareness will heighten. You'll notice patterns, numbers, faces, even colors in ways you haven't before. These are not distractions, they are signposts. Follow them with your spirit, not just your eyes. One of them will lead you to the exact moment, where you'll feel that warmth in your chest deepen into certainty. That's when the miracle starts to move from promise to present. And when it does, you'll look back on this message, and realize it wasn't just words, it was a roadmap. A coded set of instructions, designed just for you. You weren't here by accident. You didn't stay this long because of coincidence. You stayed because your soul knew, it was finally time to answer the call, it's been hearing since before you took your first breath. And now, beloved, heaven knows you've answered. He's running toward you. This isn't a slow arrival, it's a divine pursuit. Heaven has decided that the time for waiting is over. Michael says they've already been marked, sealed, and chosen. The only thing left is for them to take the step into it. That step isn't a giant leap, it's simply saying yes, with your whole heart, without doubt or hesitation. You might feel the shift before you see it. It may start as a soft pulse in your spirit, a tug pulling you forward, into something unfamiliar yet comforting. That's heaven guiding your feet, toward a path already cleared. And as you move, you'll notice the heaviness you've been carrying start to lift, not because the battles disappear, but because your spirit finally understands, the weight wasn't yours to carry in the first place. Michael shows me a vision. A locked chest with your name etched into the gold. Every delay, every heartbreak, every closed door was another layer of divine security around it. No thief could steal it. No enemy could even find it. And now the key is in your hand. It's not just any key, it's forged from every prayer you thought went unanswered, every tear you thought went unseen, every moment you thought was wasted. Nothing was wasted. Heaven kept it all, melted it down, and turned it into the very thing that will unlock your next chapter. But listen carefully, when you open that chest, you cannot take everything inside, to everyone you know. Some things are meant to be kept close, nurtured in silence until they bloom. If you share too soon, you risk letting doubt or envy seep in, and strangle the roots before they grow. This is why God is whispering, guard what I'm giving you. In the coming hours, someone will try to pull you back, into an old version of yourself. They'll say something to test your patience, to trigger your pain, to see if you still bleed where you once did. Don't give them the satisfaction, that old wound has healed, and you are not required to reopen it, just because someone remembers where it used to be. Instead, let them see your peace, let them wonder how you can stand so still, when storms are raging around you. That stillness will speak louder than any defense you could ever give. There will also be a sign in nature, something so subtle, you could almost miss it. It might be the way the sunlight hits your face, the way a bird pauses near your window, the way the wind moves, just as you speak a certain thought. This is not coincidence. Heaven often speaks in whispers, because it wants to see who is truly listening. If you catch it, smile, because it means your awareness is tuned to the right frequency. Michael says you are about to enter a season where closed doors will start opening so quickly, you'll barely have time to walk through one, before the next swings wide. But remember, not every open door is meant for you. Some are distractions, dressed as opportunities. Your discernment is your compass now. If something makes your spirit feel heavy, even if it looks perfect on the surface, let it pass. And here's the most important part, the miracle coming to you is layered. It's not just one blessing, it's a chain reaction. Once the first shift happens, it will trigger another, and then another. Your finances, your relationships, your health, your purpose, every part of your life will feel the ripple. This is why the enemy fought you so hard in the past. They weren't just fighting one thing, they were trying to stop the chain from ever starting. But they failed. You will also notice certain people from your past reappearing, not because they've changed, but because they sense something has changed in you. Some will come with good intentions, some will not. Your job is to bless them from a distance, if their presence costs you peace. You owe no one access to what God has built in private. There is also a message you will receive, perhaps in writing, perhaps spoken, that will confirm everything you've been feeling in your spirit. It might come from someone who has no idea they are being used as a messenger. When it arrives, you'll know because your entire body will react: goosebumps, tears, a sudden deep breath. That is heaven saying, you're right where you need to be. The alignment you're stepping into has been in motion long before you even knew to pray for it. Michael says it's like a celestial chessboard. Every move in your life, even the painful ones, were positioning you for the checkmate against the enemy's plans. And now, with one more step, the game ends in your favor. So when that moment comes, and it will be soon, don't hesitate. Stand tall in it, receive it fully. And above all, remember this: you are not stepping into something fragile, you are stepping into something eternal. No person, no setback, no lie can undo what God Himself has declared over you. The gates of heaven are not just opening, they are swinging wide with force, and your name is echoing through them, like a victory cry. The 2-hour clock is still ticking, the signs are already on their way. And heaven is leaning in, waiting for you to move. The angels move instantly. It's like a soundless trumpet goes off in the spirit realm, and every force assigned to you snaps to attention. Paths begin to clear, conversations you haven't had yet are already being aligned. People who were meant to bless you, but didn't know how, will suddenly feel drawn to you. Opportunities that seemed closed will begin to creak open, and you'll realize it wasn't rejection, it was preservation. Archangel Michael is already moving, wings stretching wide, carrying not just your miracle, but the authority to enforce it. No interference will stand, no sabotage will land. He is walking ahead of you, clearing the path of unseen traps. And you might feel it, a sudden lightness in your chest, like you've been carrying a heavy bag, and someone just lifted it away. That's the moment your spirit recognizes the shift, that's the moment heaven says, "It is done." But there's something else Michael wants you to know: you have to protect this. Not with fear, but with wisdom. Some blessings aren't meant to be shared right away, some seeds must stay in the soil, until they're strong enough to face the weather. That means you might have to smile quietly, while others assume nothing has changed, even though inside you know everything has. That's not deception, it's stewardship. Heaven calls it, guarding the sacred. You're entering a season where you will be tempted to downplay what God is doing for you. You don't have to flaunt it, but don't shrink from it either. Walk in it, with quiet authority. Remember, you didn't beg for this, you were chosen for it. There's a difference. Begging implies desperation, but being chosen means destiny. And destiny cannot be undone by doubt. Michael says, you've been tested, refined, and stretched. You've walked through nights so dark, you forgot what light felt like. But the light never left, it was just gathering strength, to return all at once. And that's what's happening now. When it comes, it will feel overwhelming, almost too much to take in. But you'll find yourself able to handle it, because you've been built for this moment, in ways you didn't even realize. Over the next hours, pay attention to your environment. Watch for repeating numbers, for songs that seem to speak directly to you, for strangers who say something that hits your heart like lightning. These are not coincidences, these are confirmation codes, God's way of telling you, I'm here, it's moving, don't doubt it now. You may also notice resistance flaring up around you, small frustrations, sudden distractions, even people from your past trying to reappear. This is not random. When a breakthrough is close, old cycles try to pull you back. Michael's advice is clear: do not engage in battles you've already won. Do not explain to people who have already chosen not to understand you. Keep your eyes forward, because that's where the delivery is coming from. There's a reason this is all happening now. Heaven has been holding back certain pieces, until the exact alignment, of time, place, and your readiness. That alignment is rare, beloved, it's what prophets call the fullness of time. It's when heaven and earth agree, that the moment has come. And when that happens, nothing can stand in its way, not delay, not doubt, not even your own past mistakes. You've carried the weight of unanswered prayers, for so long that it became normal. But what's coming will make you forget the heaviness. It will be replaced with gratitude, so deep it will change the way you move through the world. You'll notice yourself speaking differently, walking differently, expecting differently. That's what happens when you've seen God fulfill something you thought was impossible. Michael's wings are already in motion, but here's the final key: don't stop declaring it. Every time you say, I am ready, I surrender, let it come, you are unlocking another layer of this blessing. Every time you speak it, angels are reminded of their assignment, and darkness is reminded of its defeat. So keep saying it, whisper it in the morning, speak it before you sleep. Let it become the rhythm of your heart. Because the moment your words align with your belief, the transfer is complete. And beloved, you are closer than you've ever been, not just to the miracle, but to the version of you who can carry it, without fear of losing it. That's why heaven waited, that's why Michael watched, that's why this moment feels so heavy and holy at the same time, because it is. And when it lands, you'll know in your bones, nothing was wasted, nothing was random, and nothing can take this away from you now. Don't listen to those old echoes, because they belong to a season that has already died. They are ghosts of moments that no longer have permission to define you. They are the voices of fear, disguised as reason, and they will try to pull you back, into the shadows you fought so hard to escape. But you are not going back. The moment you said, I receive this, I choose to believe, the spiritual locks were broken. Michael didn't just carry your name forward, he carved it into the gates of a new chapter. The kind of chapter that doesn't resemble your past at all. And here's the thing, most people won't understand, you didn't just wait for this blessing. You were trained for it. Every tear, every closed door, every betrayal, it all became part of the curriculum. Heaven knew that if they gave you this too soon, you would have settled for surviving, instead of thriving. But now you can hold it without fear of losing it. You can expand it without sabotaging it. The shift is already starting, look around. Something small might happen in the next hour, that feels insignificant, a text, a sudden idea, an unexpected thought, but it's the first domino. And when it falls, everything you thought was stuck, will start to move. The angels are arranging things, faster than you can comprehend. People who forgot you will suddenly remember. Places that once rejected you will open their doors. The timelines that felt lost will sync back together. But here's the sacred warning: with acceleration comes exposure. The same way light reveals beauty, it also reveals dust. Some people will show their true hearts the moment they see your elevation. Don't be surprised when some smile in your face, but frown in your absence. That's not your battle, Michael says. Your job is not to convince them, your job is to keep walking. And as you walk, the ground beneath you will seem different. Paths you didn't even know existed will rise to meet your feet. That's because heaven has gone ahead of you, flattening mountains and filling valleys. God is clearing the stage for the performance He wrote long before you were born. This is the scene where the one who almost gave up becomes the one no one can ignore. You might even notice your body reacting, heart racing, hands tingling, eyes welling up without reason. That's your spirit expanding to fit the blessing that's coming. For too long, you've been living in a shell, too small for your calling. But tonight, heaven cracks it open. And beloved, there's something else you need to know: this is not a one-time event. This is a shift that keeps unfolding. The next 72 hours will hold confirmations, maybe in a dream, maybe in a conversation, maybe in a quiet unshakable knowing. Don't dismiss them, write them down. Every detail matters, because each one is a piece of the larger picture. Michael is moving swiftly now. He's not just delivering the miracle, he's surrounding it with protection. No curse, no lie, no shadow will touch what's coming. The blessing will arrive sealed in light, and it will come in such a way that no one can take credit for it, except God. So breathe, let your shoulders drop, let the tension leave your body. You don't have to strive for this, you don't have to fight for it, the way you fought for everything else. This one is being handed to you, not because you're lucky, not because you manipulated the right strings, but because heaven decided your story needed this chapter. You are stepping into the kind of season where you won't just tell people God is real, they will see it on you. They will feel it when you enter the room. And the same people who doubted you will come seeking your prayers. That's the ripple effect of divine timing. Michael is almost at your side now. I can almost see him, wings curved wide, light spilling from his hands. Your name, still wrapped in gold, is brighter than before. And when he releases it, it will enter your life, not like a whisper, but like a trumpet blast in the spirit. Everything stale will break, everything blocked will flow, everything delayed will arrive. And as this happens, you will find yourself speaking differently, thinking differently, even carrying yourself differently. That's because you're not the same person you were when this message began. You have shifted, you have aligned, and heaven is responding to your yes. So beloved, take one last moment in this stillness. Feel the air around you change, sense the nearness of something holy. Because from this second forward, nothing in your life will remain the same. The page is turning, the gates are opening, and the future you almost stopped believing in is walking toward you right now. And as you step into this moment, understand heaven is not asking you to figure out every detail. You are not being called to solve the puzzle, only to walk forward in trust. The same God who brought you this far, is already standing in your tomorrow, arranging what you can't yet see. Every closed door, every delayed answer, every no you thought was rejection, it was actually divine redirection, towards something far better than you dared to imagine. Michael is still here, his presence steady, guarding the path ahead. You may notice sudden clarity in your thoughts, or a calm in your spirit, that doesn't make sense in the natural. That's because your spirit knows, breakthrough is already underway. The very forces that once opposed you, are now being commanded, to release what belongs to you. So when the sign comes, no matter how small or subtle, receive it with gratitude. Let it anchor you in this truth: heaven has not forgotten you. Your name is written in places higher than any trial, and your future is sealed with promise. You've survived, you're rising, and nothing can reverse it now. Amen.